Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we are going to solve 5 SQL interview questions. So we are using two tables here, employees and department. Okay, so in our first table, employee table, we have employee related information like employee ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date, etc. And in our second table, which is department, in this particular table, we have department related information like department ID, department name, location ID. Okay, so let's solve our first question. So our first question read, write a SQL query to display the 5 least earning employees. So in this question, we have to find 5 employees who have less salaries. Okay, so what we will do here, first we will select the column names which we need from the table. So select first name, last name, employee ID, salary from employee table. So we are selecting these columns because we need these columns in our result set from this employee table. Okay, and after that we will sort our data by salary in ascending order. So after sorting our data in ascending order, what will happen? In our first row, we will get the employee name who has the lowest salary in the table. So we will apply top 5 operator here to find only 5 rows where the employee salary is the lowest salary. Okay, so let's run this code. So now as you can see, we have got only 5 rows, and in our first row, the salary is the lowest salary and the first name is Steven. Okay, and in this way we have got the 5 employees who have the lowest salary. So moving to our second question, which is find the employees hired in the 80s. So we need to find employees who were hired in 80s. So for that, first we will select the column name which we need from our table. So we need employee ID and then we need name as well. So for that we are concatenating our first name and last name as employee, and we need hire date as well. Okay, from this employee table, now we need to apply this condition where, so this hire date column has the data type date. Okay, so we need to extract year from this hire date in order to apply filter. So we will be using year function here on this hire date, and then we need only those employees who were hired in 80s. So we will apply this condition where year of this hire date is between of 1980 and 1989. So it will give us all those employees who were hired between 1980 and 1989. Okay, let's run this code. So now as you can see, we have got only 2 employees who were hired in 80s. As you can see that the Stephen King was hired in 1987 and then Nina Kocher was hired in 1989. Okay, so our next question is display the employee's first name and the name in reverse order. So what we want from this table, we need first name and the reverse name as well from the employee table. So we will use select. So we will first take first name from the table and we will rename it as name. So we are also using lower function on this first name. Okay, and now we need the reverse name as well. So for that we will be using reverse function on our first name, and then we will provide the alias name in reverse from this employee table. Okay, so let's run this code. So now as you can see, this name column, in this particular column we have original names, and in name in reverse we have names in reverse. Okay, so now moving to our fourth question, which reads find the employees who joined the company after 15th of the month. So we need to find those employees who joined after 15th of month. So it means we need to apply filter where day is greater than 15th. Okay, so for that, first we will select the column name which we need in our result set. So we need employee ID, then we are concatenating first name, last name as employee, and we need hire date as well from employee table. Now again we are using hire date. So hire date has the data type date, so we need to extract day from this date. So for that we are going to use day function, and now we are applying filter where day is greater than 15. So in this way we will get those employees who joined the company after 15th of the month. Okay, so let's run this code. So now as you can see, we have got the employee's name who joined the company after 15th of the month. As you can see in our day, in our first row, Stephen joined on 17th, then Nina on 21, Alexander on 30, and likewise. Okay, so now moving to our last question. So our last question reads, display the managers and the reporting employees who work in different departments. So we need to find the managers and their reporting employees who work in different departments, means whose department is not same. Okay, so for that, first what we need to do here, so as you can see in our employee table, if I run this table, you can see we have employee ID, employee name as well, and then we have manager ID as well. So in order to get manager name, what we will do, we will perform self join here to get manager name. Okay, and that's what we are doing here. So first we will select the column from our, so let's skip this part for now. First what we need to do here, we need to perform join on our this employee tables. So basically we need to perform self join. Okay, so this is our first table, employees, and we are giving alias emp, which is employee. Then we are joining the same table on this employee table, and we are giving it alias manager. Okay, so we are performing join on employee, which is our first table dot manager id is equal to our second table dot employee id. So what will happen, it will take manager id from this employee table, which is our first table. Okay, so suppose Steven is the first name and employee id is 100, so we will find the manager id. So manager id is null, so it means he has no manager. Okay, so let's check for Nina. So employee id is 101 and first name is Nina. So if we check the manager id is 100. Okay, so we need to find the manager name. So what we will do, we will perform self join. So we will find 100 in this employee id. So manager id 100 is equal to employee id 100. So it means Nina reports to Steven. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. So we are performing the self join on the first table, which is employee, and the second table, which is manager, on first table dot manager id is equal to second table dot employee id to get the manager name. Okay, so now we have already performed the join. We will mention all the columns which we need in our result set. So we need name from the manager table. So we are concatenating manager dot first name and manager dot last name, and we are giving it alias manager. Okay, then we need employee name as well. So this name will come from our first table, which is employee table. So again we are concatenating our first name and last name and giving it alias employee. And after that we need manager department as well and employee department as well. So we are taking department from manager table and we are giving it alias manager department, and similarly we are taking department from employee table as well and we are giving it alias employee department. So after that we need to apply this condition as well, where manager and reporting employees does not work in the same department, means they have different department. So we will apply this where condition where employee dot department id is not equal to manager dot department id, and we are ordering by one. One is our manager, so we are ordering our data by manager. So let's run this query. Okay, so now you can see these are the employee who reports to these manager. So now we have got the employee name and their manager as well. So as you can see here that manager department is different and employee department is different. So we have got only those rows where manager and their reporting employees does not work in same department. So as you can see, our manager department and employee department is different in each row. So hope you have enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye.